Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this video. Welcome, Yoga for All participants. I wanted to share with you some thoughts I had about what to do when you don't have any props to use. If you're somewhere out doing a class and the studio or the space you're using has no props, what can you do to help your students? So you'll notice with our Yoga for All training that we don't put together a set sequence for you to memorize and follow so that you can teach a Yoga for All class. What we're trying to encourage you to do is to think outside the box, to embody the knowledge that you already have with some strategies that Amber and I have created to help you make your classes more accessible. So, what can you do when you don't have any props? First thing, you want to plan your class. So roll out your mat and maybe grab a beach towel and a couple of books. And my personal favorite, I've got a necktie here and a necktie, and see how they work as props. And then perhaps you can change the focus of your class. So instead of maybe doing, if you had in mind a class with a lot of standing poses that might need a lot of bricks or blocks, you can always grab some thicker books that you may have. And I know that you've all been studying yoga for a while, so I don't know about you, but my yoga library is pretty extensive. Look how thick this book is. I think it makes a really great prop. I'll show you another book that I absolutely love to use as a prop. It's heavy. Have you seen this? Darren Rhodes' book of yoga poses. This is where I get the ideas for modifying yoga poses for my students from this book, but it also, look how thick it is. It also makes a really good prop. Even thinner books make a great prop. People may only need a couple of inches to get, look at all my yoga books, to get their fingertips to the floor. So what we're looking at you is to ask you to be creative with what you have. So I thought this might be a cool idea, is to turn this into a little mini assignment. It's an optional mini assignment so that we can give each other more ideas about how to use the things we have around us in the everyday as props. So if we go somewhere that doesn't have a lot of props, we can take some different things with us. And then how can we create a flow? And I would probably pick a flow on the floor where we don't use any props and find poses that don't need a lot of modification and things that are generally a little more accessible to more people. And throughout the videos that we provided in modules 3 and 4, we've shown you there's lots of ideas out there that you can try. So I want to ask you to create your asana lab now. Roll out your mat, scour your house, find things around you that you can use as props. So another thing that I like to use as a prop, if I don't have a lot of, individual props, is to use a wall. And if you don't have a lot of wall space, to use each other. So for me, yoga is about community. And if I'm going to a new space where I've never taught before and I don't know a lot of people, I sit down and build community first. So I take a few minutes at the beginning of the class and ask people to introduce themselves to each other and kind of workshop it up a little bit. And then I might do a simple partner stretch just to get people familiar with each other, and then I might use each other as props. So do a warrior pose where you're kind of holding the shoulder of the person next to you, or a tree pose where you're using each other for stability, and I make it more of a fun practice where people get to know each other. Keeping in mind, I know that not everybody's going to want to get in contact with everybody, but if we are creating a Yoga for All class, it's really about community. And as we've seen in this course so far, people are weighing in on the forums and sharing their stories. So people are looking for connections. So this might be an opportunity for you to have your students make connections with each other. So therefore, they're not just coming to yoga for the class or for you, but they're now starting to come for each other. So stuff to think about. So if I get a chance this week, I'm going to put together a little video that I will share in the forums about, it'll only be about 10 or 15 minutes. Some of the things you can do if you have absolutely no props. Another thing I want you to think about, and I do this a lot, is I scour discount stores or thrift stores or garage sales, or I think you call them in the United States swap meets, like those big flea market things, and I look for things I can buy. So I went to kind of like a garage sale or a yard sale at my mom's Tai Chi place, and they had folding chairs for $2. So I bought 10 folding chairs, and sometimes I need to bring them if I'm in places, or I keep a couple if I'm going to a studio that I'm not sure about, because there's ways to work with people. So sometimes you have to think outside the box and workshop it up. So I want to thank, I think it was Tanya, for weighing in and asking the questions about props and what to do with no props. And we'll create some more content around that coming up. So I hope you found this helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. And I hope to see you on the live webinar jam on Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And remember, if you can't make it, we're going to tape it so you'll get to see it on the forums. Okay. I hope you all are well, and please weigh in with any questions you have. I love hearing from you.